Hey everybody, Devin Rex Art here. I've been watching a lot of videos about paint pouring. I have collected lots of paint pouring paints, and but I just haven't had the chance to make room to do it because it's kind of messy. And one of the things I've seen them do is they do this balloon smash technique. And I thought instead of doing like a whole paint pour, maybe I could try it on the Gelli plate, but it didn't really work nice like on the paint pouring. So this is just with regular paint, and then I picked it up with some like craft paint with the balloon smash, and then I just picked up the print like a regular Gelli print. Here I added some like copper, and then a ring of turquoise and a ring of blue, and then I smashed it, and then I picked it up once it dried, which is what takes a long time with this type of technique. Once it dried, I picked it up with white. I had done some off printing, I guess you'd call it, on my smaller Gelli plate. This was picking up, so then I used more paint, and I just sort of lightly pressed it down and picked up just the surface layer, and it kind of made a neat dendritic effect. And then this was the final pull of that one. And I thought, well, what about using actually the pouring acrylics, these ones here? So I tried that. I wasn't really that happy here. I had used too much black, so it's just like black blobs. Well, it does have an interesting texture from the balloon, so that was kind of cool. That was the off smash, I guess you'd call it. This one I tried using a little less black, picked it up with gold. This was, you know, taking off the excess paint on just a piece of paper without the Gelli plate, and I was hoping maybe some cells would form, because that's the cool thing about paint pouring. If you watch videos of paint pouring, you get cells forming, but that didn't really happen. So I thought maybe if I use more paint, it'll get cells on the Gelli plate, and it didn't. Although it does have a cool texture, like I did like the texture, but I didn't get really any of the cells. And here, that's just the off printing of the balloons. So I thought it was a bit of waste of the paint pouring mediums because I didn't really find it very interesting. So I thought, well, what about if I used alcohol ink on the Gelli plate? And that's how I got these flowers. Then I kind of embellished with some other paints and stuff. And when you do alcohol ink on the Gelli plate, as I've done in a previous video, you don't get that bleed through. So for example, I think this was an off print. They just on copy paper, and you can see how it bleeds through, which isn't a problem. As you know, or you may not know, but alcohol ink works really well on this paper called Yupo paper. So this is Yupo paper, which is basically like a plastic paper, and it flows really well, and you get really cool techniques. But this paper is pricey. You can use photo paper, but I just thought, well, this is the balloon smash just right on the Yupo paper, and I really overworked it. I could probably have like a few isolated ones, but I thought I'll try some more experimenting on the Gelli plate with the alcohol ink and the balloon smash technique. I couldn't really find any videos with that specifically, so I thought I would just experiment a little bit. So I'm just going to start with some alcohol inks. Let's do maybe some blues and greens just for something different. So I just put a couple little puddles. This is sailboat blue. And let's do a green. This is lettuce, or laitue in French. And then this, I'm going to just do a circle around. Some of the balloon smash on pouring techniques that I've watched, they did this. They kind of made like a little design to give the paint somewhere to go. And then I'm going to just use a little bit of the Pinata Gold. I love this ink. And I did a few different experiments on that flower painting that I did, and what I found worked good was putting the gold in here. But we could try a few extra ways. We'll do one in the middle. Let's see. Let's do like that and a few here. Is you can use something like a flat area of a paintbrush to kind of create some movement to start. All right, so now you take the balloon and you smash it and you roll it and you lift it. And then I'm going to use just some copy paper to print it off or to take off the excess. Smash it, roll it. I didn't like that it wasn't there, so I'm going to take the excess and I'm going to put it on the other side. Just roll it around. So these might have maybe too much gold, but it's fun. And then we'll do that. It's a bit of that. And let's add a bit more. Ooh, so I could wait for that to dry and then pick it up with the with some paint, but I'm going to just add a little bit more of that blue because I liked the blue. I wanted more blue. That's cool like that, but let's try the paint smash. Roll it. Maybe I'll squiggle it a bit. Oh, it was better before. All right. Maybe I'll leave those like that. Let's try just some plain, this is 91% alcohol. I'll just kind of re-wet it a little bit. Do like a little swirl, smash. Yeah, I like the smash because you get those lines. I'll just put a little bit out there. And I do like that, so I'm just going to add a little bit to the center of this one here. So we have 3. And this time I think I'll just leave it alone, let it do its thing. Should kind of roll out on its own, but you have to be patient. You have to let this dry before you try to pick it up with the acrylic. That one's not spreading as much. Let's put some gold. It's spreading a bit more. It's hard to resist the urge to smash it again. And looking at it, I don't like how you can still see the gold there, so I'm just going to add just a little bit here and then try to do like a smush and smash. Smush and smash. I think this will show up more once I pick it up. So I'm just going to let that dry and then we'll do a pickup print. Okay, so it seems pretty dry. Like if I touch it, it doesn't really come up. So as another experiment, I'm going to use just matte white paint and some Playful Pink iridescent paint to see what highlights the alcohol ink best. So I'm going to turn it this way and let's do plain white on this half. And give that a shake. And we'll do iridescent. I don't have to buy more of this. I love this one. It's getting very, very so empty. I'm going to do the white first. And I'm going to roll off just here. And do the Artisa, the Playful Pink. And then I'm just going to pick up on some white cardstock. My handy dandy lid. All right, so there's that print. You can see the striations from the balloon, which I think is the cool part. I think that's the advantage of doing the balloon smash technique, is those little striations. This is just the flat matte craft paint. And this side is the iridescent Playful Pink. And I don't think it makes much difference to how this part looks, either one. So I think either one's good. So the advantage, I think, of doing it on the Gelli plate is that you pick it up with acrylic, so you can add to it with other media. Whereas if you do on Yupo, I don't know that you could do, for example, like this flower picture. I used some pit pens to make the flowers, and then I added some shading with the Intense. I like this here, so I think I'm just gonna do that. Just kind of swipe it. You don't have to do this. You could just leave it as is. It'd be kind of cool if you were to just leave it as such. You could cut out the pieces and add them to a mixed media piece. Here I'm just kind of making some abstract flowers. And this is a pit pen, which is basically India ink in a pen, which is also permanent. And the alcohol ink is permanent. Like maybe these are some leaves coming off. And I'll just show you what the Intense pencils do. Teal green. So I think it's kind of a cool way to combine alcohol ink with mixed media. Because it doesn't go through, you could actually even do this like directly onto your journal. So I'll do another one, and I'll put it into my composition book. Indigo. So here you could use Intense to further enhance and shade. So I'm just going to scribble around. These should be darker. So you could not even use a pit pen, you could just use Intense pencils or a Stabilo pencil, although that wouldn't be permanent because it's very water soluble. Intense isn't permanent until you activate it with water. Even then, it's not, really 100%. So I'm just gonna kind of go loosey-goosey. So I'm not an alcohol ink specialist or expert, and I'm certainly not a floral painting expert, but I don't know, I think that's kind of a fun abstract flower. You could, you know, cut it out. You could do all of them and make that a journal page. But so I'm just going to let the camera roll. I'm going to do a few more pulls, just experimenting. I'll do one pull in my composition book at least. And I'm just going to use some alcohol spray to clean off my balloon. That might make a cool print too. Let me get a piece of paper, actually. Not really. Just wipe it. Got like a purple area, a yellow area, a green area. So I can't help myself. I had a thought. What if I use the alcohol lift ink in some of these areas to make even more of a flower look? And the trick with alcohol lift ink is you have to stamp it off. Ooh, it's sticky. And then I'm going to stamp it off here. You can see that makes an interesting little design. There. So this isn't a tutorial. I'm just playing. I'm just experimenting. If you find it interesting, great. If you don't, that's okay. And then in some of these smaller ones, this set also has like a little dragonfly. This is a really old set. Don't ask me where I got it from. It's just this little dragonfly guy. Here you can see when it stamps off. It's kind of cool. Let's use this dreamy yellow. I'll use this linen texture for the pickup. Now I could do another video of using the pouring paint on the jelly plate. If anybody's interested, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I think it was pretty, I don't know, I think it wouldn't be hard just to try it. It wasn't my favorite result, but if you're interested, I could maybe do a live sometime and we could just play with some different techniques. All right, so here is, so I like that. I think that's kind of cool. Reminds me of like some alternate universe where lily pads are orange. You can see the little flower. And I could have like stamped off into the clear spaces, but I chose not to. So that's kind of cool. All right, let's keep playing. I feel like brown is very underrated. And I think this would look really nice with the gold. So let's use gold with this one. This is the teak wood. And let's use just some yellow around. And I'm leaving space for stamping off the balloon because I kind of like how that looks. And the gold. I do have the copper, but I'll get that shaken, but I think the gold would be better. So somehow, I don't know where that little bit of green came from. I must have had a contaminated yellow, but that's okay. And then I'm just gonna put a few drops of gold around because I do like the striations that it makes. I'm hoping this will do that. Before things dry, I want to get there with my balloon. Let's do the middle one first. So down, smoosh, and up. And kind of spin it. And down, smoosh. Smoosh. I'm happy with these. This one I feel needs a bit more. Let's just do yellow. Smoosh and do a twirl. Smoosh and twirl. So that's already dry. Brown and blue look nice together. Let's try just a blue, and then I think the yellow will be more of a green color, maybe. I'm gonna use white cardstock for this one. But I do like how brown and blue work together. This blue is a little bit I might have a bit of white to try to smooth that out if I'm not too late. If it starts picking up, then I'll just have to stop and let it dry. Oh, that balloon. Okay, let's see. That might be too much paint now, but we'll try it. So that's kind of cool. You can see the gold. I think this would look cool as sunflowers. So I do have this set of sunflower stamps and dies, and that might be kind of cool if we sort of did like a sunflower stamp, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do it. So I think I'm gonna go and cut those out. And then be right back. I'm not sure if I showed this because it was a bit of a blob. It didn't work because with my composition book, I've glued 2 pages together, and sometimes it gets a little bit wrinkly. But we also did these, the yellow and brown, and then we picked it up with blue. And then I just used my stamp and my die cuts. Here you can see I added a little bit of detail to the middle of those 2. Here's the other. I cut out a center with gold vellum, added that. Here's the gold vellum with the die cut outline. And then here's the a brown die cut outline. So those are kind of fun. So you could add those to an art journal page. Here's a review of our prints today. This one, I altered this flower, or altered that blob into a flower, but I do like how you can see the gold on there. And I might go in and, like, you know, maybe draw some other flowers around there. Here's the orange and red one that we use the alcohol lift ink. And that's kind of pretty. It's the off stamps. So I could cut that out. And let's see. And then I also have this one. This was like just the off stamping. I just kind of sprayed the balloon with the alcohol and just kind of smushed it on here. It would have gone through. Like here you can see it goes through. So you wouldn't want to do that in an art journal page if you have something precious on the other side. But I knew on this side I just had this print that didn't really work very well. And then I just sort of doodled on it. And here is the last print we did using copper and pink, yellow, and purple. So my favorite, I think I'd have to say, oh, and here's our inspiration page. I think my favorite's this one because you can really see how the balloon made that pattern. So I kind of like that. So anyhow, I might cut these out or I might make a page out of that. I don't know. But I just wanted to just have a play and let you guys know some of the things that I was playing with. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye.